Hey, here we are in the Badger Rock Garden, I should say the Badger Rock Urban Farm. And our workshop today is on mid-season planting because even though the growing season is well underway and you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I missed it. I can't plant anything anymore. The truth is you can still get a lot of stuff in the ground. Mid-July is about the end for planting a lot of things, but you can plant up until mid-July. Um, our first frost date is around October 10th in Madison, Wisconsin. It's different depending on where you are. So if you're further south, your first frost date, the first night that it gets below freezing, is most likely later than October 10th. If you go up north, the first frost date is likely earlier than October 10th. So make sure you look at the first frost date where you are when you're thinking about what you can still get in the garden. But here in southern Wisconsin, our first frost date is around October 10th. So if you think it's mid-July, it's around July 10th right now. So we have July to August, August to September, September to October. So we have about two and a half months left in the growing season before that frost date. So when you're looking at what to plant, look at how long each crop takes to grow. So, for example, bush beans take 56 days to maturity. So that's about 2 months. I would say at this time of year, you don't want to plant anything that's going to take longer than 60 days to grow. Or if you do, make sure that it's something that's cold hardy and can survive a few frosts. Things that are cold hardy are usually crops we eat the roots of, like think carrots, beets, radishes, and things we eat the leaves of. So things like collard greens, kale, lettuce, spinach. All of those things have some cold hardiness to them, so can survive a couple frosts. So you might be able to get away with a crop that takes a little longer than 60 days if it's one of those crops. So one of the things that's really easy to plant at this time of year and will most certainly do well is bush beans. They take about 45 to 60 days depending on the type of bush bean that you have. And all of the things that I would plant at this time of year that I'm going to show you are things that you direct seed, which means just plant the seeds right in the garden. So if we head down to our, you can see our bush beans are thriving and looking so beautiful over here. They're going to start making beans really soon, but we do have a little spot that's a little spotty. We don't have beans filling in the whole space. So this is a crop that we can just pop some more seeds in the ground to also fill in an already existing bed. And bush beans are a great one to plant a few times over the season so that you have a longer harvest. Because when you plant bush beans, they're gonna start to mature around like 55 days, between 45 and 60 days, like I said, and then they'll produce really vigorously for a few weeks, and then they'll start slowing down. So if you have another crop of beans that you planted 2 weeks or a month after that first crop, you'll have another wave of beans coming. So staggering your planting like that is a great way to have more consistent produce throughout the whole season. So beans are a great one to plant at this time of year. Still, you can still get away with cucumbers. You can still get away with carrots, beets. There are a couple crops that are cold hardy that you want to wait until we're not in the absolute heat of summer to replant. Spinach and radish come to mind. If you plant those now, they're probably going to go to flower right away because they do not like the heat. Peas are another one. So peas, spinach, radish, I would wait till closer to the end of the season, later in August, to pop them in. Those are all cold hardy crops as well, so that you can get a later harvest and those crops can survive a few frosts. So you should be good to go to plant them a little later when the weather is cooler, because peas won't even germinate when it's too hot too. So it kind of gets, part of it is getting to know your crops. So we're going to walk and I'll show you some carrots that are growing so that you know what those look like. And here's some cucumbers right here. You can check out those. So cucumbers, you can grow cucumbers that create a big vine and need something to grow up. And then in that case, you'd need a trellis like we have here for the cucumbers to grow up. Or you can plant bush cucumbers, which are similar to a bush bean. They grow on a bush and they don't need to climb. Bush cucumbers are a little faster, so they might be a more successful one at this time of year, midsummer. And as we walk, we'll just talk about a few other crops that you could plant now. You can plant mustard greens still. Those will do well and grow really fast. You can plant lettuce. That will do well and grow really fast. You can plant beans like I mentioned. You can plant carrots. You could plant cilantro, although this is another one that with the heat, it'll go to flower pretty quick. But if you let those flowers get pollinated and make seeds, you will have new cilantro seeds to plant, or you can use those as coriander. That's what coriander is cilantro seeds, if you cook with coriander. So here is, oh my goodness, we need to weed this carrot bed, but we need to weed everything, y'all. If you have a garden or a farm, you know this time of year is the time that the vegetables are thriving and the weeds are thriving. So here are the carrots growing. These ones we planted very early in the season, at the end of April, because like I said, they're a really cold hardy crop. They can handle some cold. And if you want carrots throughout the whole growing season, you can plant carrots every 2 weeks, all the way up till midsummer. And if you want to have a bed of carrots that you overwinter, I will get them in the ground around now. And you can, if you cover them, they can sometimes survive even through the winter. So carrots are a great one to plant midsummer as well. So there are so many things, y'all. So don't stop, don't hold back, don't feel like the season is passed you by and you can't get some things in the ground, because you can. The other thing that I wanted to talk about that's pretty fast are zucchini and summer squash. So let's go check out our zucchini and summer squash, because those take about, this is another way that a seed packet can tell you days to maturity, 45 to 50 days until maturity. That means from when you plant the seed to when you can harvest. So those summer squash and zucchini are a really fast one too. And we will walk by some and see how they're doing. Our zucchinis and summer squash that we planted around the middle of May are starting to make fruit right now. So if you think about the timing of that, middle of May, middle of June, middle of July, so they took about 2 months to get to this point. So if you pop some more in the ground now, they'll take about 2 months to get to harvest. So you'll have them mid-August, you'll have them around mid-September. You should be able to have some to harvest ready to go if you pop them in right now. So another one that you can plant mid-season is potatoes. So potatoes are another one that here we plant in mid-April. And once we plant them, they take about 2 months to grow into maturity. So about now is when we would start digging out our first potatoes from our first planting of the season. Once you dig them out, you could pop another batch in and have a fall harvest of potatoes. So here are the zucchini and summer squash. You can see them. Woo, we got a big one right here, and we need to keep an eye on these. If you grow zucchini and summer squash, keep an eye on them daily, because I swear overnight they'll grow a foot. And if your zucchini or summer squash gets too big, it gets kind of tough and crazy to eat. You can grate it and still use it for zucchini bread, but get them while they're tender. That's the best move. So beets, beans, spinach, cilantro. Another one that I forgot to mention is okra. So you can see okra takes about 60 days depending on the type of okra. So that's on about the outside edge of what we have time for still. But if you put okra seeds in the ground right now, you can still get a fall harvest of okra. So there is so much, y'all, that you can still get in the ground midsummer for a fall harvest. Don't hold back and enjoy the rest of growing season. And we'll catch y'all next time.